Happy Monday. Back to having a look at habits that we have in life and whether we want to include them or not. Sometimes these things can slip in without us even realizing or thinking about it when we're in a hurry, eating on the hoof, that kind of thing. So I'm going to have a look at a couple of types of salt and have a starting think about how salt arrives in the diet, because it's not just the salt that we add. So let's just have a quick look at the salt that we do or we might add. So thinking about the types of salt that we might add, the one in the middle there is table salt, type of thing that you will find on any normal cafe restaurant table. With it in a salt cellar, unless you've actually got a grinder there on the table. And this has been heat treated to a very high temperature and then had additives put in it to make it flow easily out of the pot. So very processed and really just sodium chloride. And interestingly, it's as much the sodium, or should I say, it's as much the chloride as the sodium in sodium chloride, which is all that you're left with in a table salt, that will contribute to higher blood pressure. Now, the salt on the left is a Himalayan rock salt, and rock salts they contain about 80 minerals, 80 plus minerals, so they are much more valuable as an additive, if you like, to a meal. Or during your cooking, but still really thinking about either rock salt or sea salt, they still contain sodium and chloride. So it's a good idea really to, use a pinch. It's still something that should be used really sparingly. And I often, sort of raise my eyebrows when I watch some of these TV chefs throw a teaspoon at a time into a meal, and wonder if there's anything left to taste other than salt. It's not really very subtle. So if you think about sea salt's between 40 and 80 minerals, and depending on the way it's processed, depending where it's from. So again, when you've got all these lovely minerals along with sodium and chloride, like your magnesium, bit of potassium, and so on, then you've got something that is going to be slightly more valuable, but again should be added sparingly. And so then thinking about often people will say, well, I don't add salt to anything that I eat. But of course the thing is that processed salt is used in so much manufacturing in order to preserve food and keep it with a longer shelf life, which is of course what manufacturers want, because that way they can sell it for longer, without it going off. So things like sausages, hams, bacons, any types of processed meats will contain sodium nitrites, that sort of thing, plenty of sodium chloride. Salted and smoked fish is the same thing, plenty of additives there in order to keep everything from going off. Now, traditionally, all of the hard cheeses, all of the blue cheeses are much, much higher in sodium as well. And things like olives, gherkins, all of those types of little snacky type things that are available. And then thinking about breads, biscuits, cakes, all of those raising agents that are used in biscuits and cakes will contain sodium. And also, a manufactured standard square loaf, if you like, or even one that's got a crease in the top like this one that's sliced and available in the supermarket, can have up to 12 teaspoons of salt in it. So wow, just looking at the amount there is quite phenomenal. So we'll have another look at why that might be an issue from tomorrow. Thank you.